Oh, it's cold. So I thought this would be a very interesting topic to put on this channel. Calories versus macros. So let's try to make this easy and concise. Calories is food. Food is energy. How much energy do you need that can sustain you for the day? Bodybuilding.com does have a calculator where you can find out exactly how many calories you need per day in order to function. And it's going to ask based on your age and your weight and if you want to lose weight or what you want to do. So you can check that out. I'll have that linked down in the description box. But with calorie counting, would I suggest you do any calorie counting to lose weight? Yes, for the very first 30 to 60 days. So you can have an idea of what foods work for you, what don't work for you, and so that you can stay within a caloric intake that helps you to lose weight or, in a sense, gain muscle. So if you're going to count calories, there's two ways that you can do this. One is find out how many calories you need per day. And you can either drop it down completely, 500 calories, just cut 500 calories from your daily intake that you need based on the numbers from the calculator, and just have that amount every day. Or find out how much calories or how many calories you need and then drop it down each week 200 calories until you get to the lowest, which is what, about 1200. I wouldn't suggest anyone go past 1200. However, everybody is different. For some people, 900 calories a day, 500 calories a day, that just seems so unrealistic. It's not manageable. But if you're going for a competition, then I can see you doing that all the way up until that last week, that peak week. You're going to be that low at caloric deficit because of you're trying to lean out. So that only makes sense. So just drop whatever caloric intake you need. Just drop it down 500. Just cut it, or drop it down 200 each week until you plateau. So say, for example, the first week you're at 1500 calories, you find out that you lose 2 pounds, stay at 1500 calories, and then if you plateau, then drop it down 200, and then you stay on that amount of caloric intake until you plateau, and then drop down another 200, because you never know, you probably can go about 2 or 3 weeks on that caloric intake. Or if you're not losing any weight, then that means you do need to drop your calories down or up your cardio, and that's a whole nother ball game. Macros really is just about how much protein, carbohydrates, and fats you need in order to lose, maintain, or gain weight. So what I think about, or what I suggest using or finding out how much macros you need to do any of those things, honestly, in my opinion, no. The only thing that I would pay attention to as far as counting macros is really the carbohydrates, because from my own personal experience, that is just where you can find where you need to gain the muscle and where you need to lose the fat. We already know low carb diets is what scientifically they're saying will help you to lose the weight. And high fats is really just good for your hormones, and it's another form of energy, just like carbohydrates. Now, if you're paying attention to your caloric intake, how many calories that you need, whether you're losing, maintaining, or gaining, and you want to have a good idea of how much macros or how many macros you need as far as protein, carbohydrates, and fats, look at this this chart that I have. This is a chart that I got from bodybuilding.com. It's something that I look at and follow, and you can definitely input it into MyFitnessPal. It does help tremendously when you're trying to figure out how much carbohydrates you need, how much protein, how much fats you need. You can manipulate that based on what you need. And that's only if you care to even know about your macros. I think this chart is a really good and very easy to choose from. Just choose which one your goals fit and then follow that and just kind of manipulate up and down between the numbers that it gives you. Now, if you are like, forget all of this calorie counting, who wants to count calories, who wants to track macros? It has its benefits. It does help so you can get an idea of what works for your body. But once you get to a point where you pretty much know, and some people actually know without even having to deal with the whole counting calories and tracking macros, because we have to be realistic. It's a science to bodybuilding and to weight loss. However, how many of us are really caring about the science aspect of it and really just want to live a healthy lifestyle where it allows us to drop, unwanted weight and stay healthy and stay fit? So realistically, we're not counting calories. We're just trying to eat healthy. So some tips that I can give you that I do: use MyFitnessPal. It helps you track stuff even if you're not paying attention to the macros or the calories per se. It does help you stay within that 300 to 400 calories per meal window. So that does help. Meal prep every day or every week, whichever one fits for you. I meal prep every day now because it's just a little bit easier for me to do it at this point. It used to be, weekly, but I can't have all of that food in my refrigerator when I'm, in a home with a family, that eats kind of differently than I do. So I just meal prep every day. Another thing that you can definitely do is cut out all processed foods. And let's make this more easier. Drink nothing but water. Don't drink anything else. Stay away from chips, cookies, pop, candy. Just stay away from it. And then the processed foods that are in boxes, foods that aren't whole foods. If they're not fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, don't even, or just protein period, don't even touch it. Stick with whole foods. Foods that come from the ground, foods that God made for our bodies. It has the nutritional values in it, and it does help you to lose the weight, especially the belly fat, if that's what you're targeting, so you get rid of inflammation and things like that. So stay away from a lot of sugary foods, a lot of processed foods, junk food. Stay away from it. Stick with your whole foods. Proteins that you love. If you're vegan, don't worry about it. It's beans and it's in quinoa and rice. It's in other foods where you can get the protein that you need. Stick with green vegetables. Eat green vegetables in every meal, including breakfast if you can. Stick with that, and definitely drink plenty of water. The suggested amount of water you should drink is about, they say about half your body weight in ounces. But I think a gallon a day is better, especially because it helps cleanse your body. It's good for your digestive system. It's good for your skin. And that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to share this really quick because I just thought it was a really good subject to touch on, since Vlogmas is kind of me trying to teach and train through the videos. So I hope you enjoyed the last video where I'm talking about, well, not talking about, but I actually show you what YouTube channels that I use to work out at home. It's what I'm going to be doing all the way up until the end of the year, and then starting in January I'm going to be back into the swing of things of going back to the gym. So if you guys are interested in me showing you or doing any videos on workouts that I do at home, let me know. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that little button. It's that little bell button over there, so you can always get the updates of when I'm uploading. It's a lot easier for me to upload later in the evening because I'm just quite busy. So I'm trying really hard for you guys. But if you guys have any other questions or have any videos that you want to see pertaining to weight loss, and if this is going to help you get started, let me know. I think the next video I really want to do is how to teach yourself to stay consistent when it comes to your eating and your training. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.